Hello everybody, welcome to Conservation Conversation. This is the show where I bring you extra bits of chat with all the best conservationists that we can find. This week we're meeting Kelly Francis from Groundwork Greater Manchester. She's one of the best outdoorsy people that we've ever met, and she's a friend and colleague of executive producer Wife to boot. As ever, I've got loads of recommendations of books and podcasts and all that sort of stuff for you this week, but I won't bother you with those now. Let's get on with the show. Kelly and I are in Clayton Vale in Manchester, and we're talking about a mug.
What's a notorious PIG?
My mate makes art, and that's one of the arts that he made. It's a series. He's got, what are the other ones?
Oh, as in, I get it now, sorry. It takes me a while, jeez.
Because it's a pig.
I had to look, yeah, but I was like...
Oh, well, that actually, I'm not like trying to stitch you up that you're holding this thing that says Notorious PIG next to your face. I promise that wasn't the game. I just wanted to put my mate's mug on it. What was the other one?
I'm literally like...
Snoop, Catty Cat,
nice.
Yeah, that sort of thing.
I like it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
you'll have to actually put me in touch.
I will.
My eldest would appreciate the Snoop one, definitely.
His artist name's Blue Louis.
Blue Louis.
Blue Louis. I'm putting the logo up right there. Have you got a website? I don't know, mate. I don't know. Give me a call. When did you begin to be a conservationist?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a sad story in a way, as in, I decided to go travelling after my mum and my grandma died at 2021.
Yeah, right.
So worked for a year. I managed to finish my degree, which was pretty hardcore, but it was just bad timing, you know. Was doing English Lit with a view to like going into, I don't know, law or advertising or something, like kind of corporate-y. And then went travelling after, worked for 9 months, saved up a ton of money, went travelling with my sister to South America.
Right.
And that sounds like really posh, but we weren't like, that's not how we were like.
No,
we never went abroad as a family, and like,
yeah,
you know.
It's not that expensive if you save up while you're at uni
and you're young,
and you're young and you've got the time. I went travelling too. I mean, obviously it's a very privileged position that we are in to be able to do that. I think that's
kind of what I'm getting at. As a family, we'd never been abroad in that kind of way. I'd been abroad, with my mates and stuff like that, and in Patagonia, we went to Torres del Paine, and you can see Glacier Grey, which is like the third largest body of ice in the world. Cool. And we got there, and this big chunk of ice, and I mean like the size of a house, cut off from the glacier and doof doof into the water, and then this wave like literally lapped up at our feet. Oh my God. And it was like a kind of moment. Yeah. And then I think either just before that or just after that, it must have been before that, we'd been doing a circuit in there where you walk all day and you camp and then you walk and then you camp and you get to see the top of the glacier. Right. So we'd done all that, and whilst we were on that walk, we saw this ranger, and she was on a horse with 2 dogs and had a gun over her back, and she's like riding across this like, you know, savannah type terrain, and I was like, I want that job. I want to do that.
I think I want
But
that
the two
job.
things combined was like, I got home and was like, I can't do what I was going to do. Like, I'm going to spend 70% of my waking hours doing this, and my mum's just died at like 48, and that's rubbish. Like, is that how long I've got? Like, I've got to do something I care about. I've got to do something that means something to me. And I started volunteering at my local park, which happened to be a SSI local nature reserve SBI. So how lucky am I? Cool. Yeah. Started to rock up at TCB's minibus in the middle of Manchester. Nice. Can I come? And just kept rocking up and kept rocking up and kept rocking up. You know, signed on the dole, lived at my dad's, the family home, and was just like, I'm just going to do this until someone gives me a job. Well done, well done. And eventually they got so bored of me turning up every day that they gave me a job. And I got on like a 0 hours contract for a bit, and then when the job finally came up for a countryside ranger, I was like, hi, I've been doing this for free and for a while, and was really lucky. I got this amazing head ranger who was a total mentor. We were never going to interview you inside today because the part of your job that I was aware of before we were chatting is this sort of stuff. So where are we? That's because it's today? The best part. That's your favourite part, is it? Probably shouldn't say that, should I? But yeah, I think I belong outdoors. It's where I want to be. Yeah. And I'm a big believer in like connecting other people to the outdoors. I think that it's massively powerful and can be life-changing and life-saving, and also, you know, I care about the planet, so I'm like, people need to connect to it so that they can actually protect it and care about it, especially like young people, because, you know, it's not my planet, this isn't mine, this is my kids, you know, this is the next generation, and unless they have a reason to protect it and love it and understanding of it, then they're not going to, are they? It's like,
When in life did you start feeling like that about the environment?
I guess always. I think I grew up camping. I grew up as a girl guide. My mum was like the guide leader, so
Nice.
And she was like a militant guide leader. So it's like, you know, it was like camping with my mum was not like, you just put this nice blow up tent or whatever. It was like a proper big old pole, and we had to like me and my sister were talking about the other day, you had to lash like a sink together, you had to dig a hole for the loo, you know, you had to make your own bedroll. It was like, it was.
If you weren't suffering, it wasn't fun.
A little bit. I mean, I actually loved it. So.
Yeah.
And then, and she wasn't particularly outdoorsy, my mum, actually. She was like a financial advisor, my mum, so it's a bit of a weird one, actually, when you think about it.
Well, good for her, though, for like recognising the value in that.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I didn't do any of that as a kid.
Did you not?
I was very much a city kid.
Right.
Yeah, on the streets. If I went to a field on my bike, I'd get terrible allergies and feel like I was way out of my depth.
Oh, wow.
So it was just down the park. And
that like blows my mind a bit, though.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know, I take it for granted, I guess. That, like, I used to play out down the woods and like, but I really shouldn't.
Play out down the woods. I did play out down the woods a little bit, but I had absolutely no idea what I was looking at. And I'd never want to stay there. I'm reading a book at the moment called Soil. I think the author's called Matthew Everett.
Yeah, I've got that on my audiobooks to listen to next.
I didn't realise that he's an Aussie, so it's awesome, the audiobook listen.
Oh, right, okay.
Really, really nice. Everyone loves an Aussie accent.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I don't want to get you in hot water with
No, it's like one of my best friends is
fans.
Aussie. So
you can say
I can say it.
Cool.
Because I'm just talking about it. And actually, she's not Aussie. It's her husband that's half Aussie. So, but she comes out with these Aussieisms all the time, and I'm like, what's that? She's like, I don't know.
I don't know. He's got a really good chapter in it about just the sort of microbiome of touching soil and plants and things like that, and that we lose that from our food when it's chemically washed and
enhanced or whatever. Yeah.
I've been curious about that. I'm going to try and speak to a soil expert soon if he agrees to be filmed.
Okay.
I think he said yes, but I'll have to give him a call.
Yeah.
I want to ask, you know, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk to you about balsam bashing. When you're lifting it out, not that you know, but I wonder what effect that's having on your microbiome, on your hands, you know, and all the good chemicals.
I guess just touching, feeling. I mean, just sensory alone, like input that you get from that. I mean, interconnectedness is nothing new, is it? But it's like that whole holistic kind of. Of course, we should be touching the plants and eating the food that's grown locally, and of course we should be like
that's how we evolved.
Eating the honey. Yeah, I mean, it makes total sense. We're animals living in that environment rather than a kind of hierarchical. Like, we're in charge of it. We sit above it. You know,
Absolutely.
We're actually integral and in part of it. So that kind of makes loads of sense, doesn't it?
Hello again, it's only me. That book that Kelly and I were talking about is Soil by Matthew Evans. I got his name wrong, so apologies, Matthew. We've got more recommendations coming up, so that's not the book of the week. Kelly and I are going to tell you about those in a little bit. But for now, let's cut to this advert.
This programme is brought to you by Genuinely Beneficial Products. This week.
Is this you? Try new
metal.
Genuinely Beneficial Product.
Thanks, Genuinely Beneficial Product. Metal clothes pegs changed my life. Now we're going to go back to me and Kelly, and my microphone's not working during this section, but don't worry, I didn't say anything interesting anyway.
I'm currently working for Groundwork, which is an environmental charity. So I'm working for Groundwork Greater Manchester, and I am their Green Skills Manager, which sounds really fancy, but it's clearly not. I mean, it is. It's great.
It sounds fancy.
I've just recently gone into post, so it's all right.
When it's losing control.
Before that,
Okay.
it's a tricky one. You say green skills and people don't really know what it means. And
I was going to ask what.
yeah, ask, definitely. I'm still asking. And I mean that genuinely, I'm trying to work it out because I think green skills now encompasses so much. So there's one side, I sort of see it as sort of two compartments of green skills. I see sort of the technical side, if you like, so like the electrician, solar panel, PV installation, EV charge points, and the retrofit side of it in construction, where we're trying to switch to renewable energies, electrify everything.
Big project.
Yeah, and then retrofit all our homes, get that insulation up to scratch. So, and that's all to do with like our carbon emissions and bringing them down, and GMCA's ambition to be net zero, and getting people. We've got a workforce shortage, so there's apparently jobs out there, but we've also got like a bit of a skill gap going on.
So there are jobs available for people out there.
That's what I'm interested in, and that's, as Green Skills Manager, is what I'm trying to find. But yeah, that's sort of one part of Green Skills, I guess, and a big part. And
so that does come in under your umbrella.
Yeah, it does, and it definitely falls under. Not necessarily as all my responsibility at all. I mean, Groundwork have got loads of different arms. We've got like Energy Works, and they do loads of retrofit, and Green Doctors, and they do all of that. My side is the green skills within construction in Prism. So that's where I've been the last couple of days. I've been like training people up in construction skills, and then doing the health and safety qual, so that when they get out through the gate into the community, they can get their CSCS card and walk into a job, hopefully, which reduces the rates of reoffending, and gives people purpose and like life skills and like something to like work towards. So
when I imagine green skills, having not asked you enough about it clearly,
yeah.
Are you imparting messages like this, or is there a particular sort of thing that when you bring a group, say, to a spot like this, is it a free-flowing conversation, or do you have a kind of an agenda when you go out?
I mean, we do have an agenda, but people get out of it what they want to, do you know what I mean? And everyone's so different, aren't they? And they come to these sessions with loads of different reasons. Lots of people come because they want to work in what they think is the green sector, or in conservation, but loads of people also come from like a well-being perspective, and I need to do something, and I need to learn, and I need to connect, and the green skills we're doing is great. We kind of do an alternate, don't we? So we do 1 week which is a bit more formal and a bit where I come, and it's a bit more. These are some like we do hedge laying, or we've done tree ID or newts or whatever it is, and try and keep it really seasonal, and then the following week will be more well-being based, where it's a lot looser, and it's a lot more about autonomy for the group as well, because this is their space, this is their time.
Hello.
Can I have a look at your mic?
Yeah, is it cutting out?
I can't hear it at
Oh.
all.
I was going to say, do you tend to get people come in who are already interested in conservation?
Yeah, and they'll either be, we get a lot of like career shifters, movers who are they've burnt out from being inside, and they're like, they've had a bit of an epiphany. Or we get people who are like, been trying to get into the green sector for years and years, and they're like, I need some more formalised training, I need some more experience. I mean, we had some ecology graduates, turn up. Like there was like 6 of them on one, and it's like, and they were like, we need more experience. And I'm like, you've got an ecology degree, you're more qualified to be here than me. I've got like an English lit degree.
Yeah, right.
And I very much speak from experience rather than like academia. But they were like, yeah, but we've got no experience, and it's a big difference between reading about it and learning about it and actually doing it.
Good for them for having the wisdom to pick that out.
Yeah.
What is a dead hedge? Tell us about that. Why do you do that? I love this.
Yeah, well, we were creating it as there's loads, as always, there's loads of different reasons why you do something, but we created it using all materials from around here, so nothing's been transported in. The stakes were made using the hazel liquid coppice. We've done it to create a little barrier to sort of demarc an area for us to use, but also it's a great spot for wildlife, for invertebrates, for fungus, for like, you could have that dead wood scattered around, that would be fine too.
Sure.
It's all beneficial for the woodland. We remove loads of dead wood and we tidy up a lot, and we really shouldn't. We need like more dead wood in our woodlands. We need to create far more. You know, we should
It's
be
what
going around
creates.
ring barking trees. You know, we should be like, because it's all cyclical, like, and we need those nutrients putting back into the soil so that stuff can grow.
And making soil.
Yeah,
We
make
need-
more soil.
We need more soil, don't we? We
Absolutely.
genuinely do. It's a big problem.
And
a group can do this in a day or a
yeah,
week? Or?
easily, a couple of hours.
Cool.
Yeah. And they get to use loads of different tools, and they get to work together, a bit of team building, a bit of problem solving, taking the initiative, like which direction should we go in it,
Absolutely.
And then they've got a skill set there where they've used billocks to create the points and the stakes. They've used, lump hammers to get and mauls to get the stakes in the ground. They've used loppers, secateurs, bow saws, all, you know, learning about the tools, hands-on, practical.
Words which a few years ago, again, before being educated by executive producer wife, half of those words I didn't know what they meant.
Oh.
Didn't know the word secateurs.
You didn't know the word can you spell it though?
No.
Like, I'm like struggling.
S?
I can't even.
Is it S?
I get SE and then I'm like, no.
Yeah. Is there a 6 in there? So if anyone's sat out there wondering, you know, all right, I might go for a day. Let's do some dead hedging. Let's do some balsam bashing. Where should they look you up?
So again, Groundwork website, TCV website. I know City of Trees do loads of citizen science thing on Eventbrite as well. But we're all on Instagram as well, I would imagine. Like, put it in, put Groundwork in, and you'll start to see all the links.
In the description
LinkedIn
down here as well.
Yeah,
No
it'll
doubt.
all be, you know, Google
It's out
Groundwork
there.
Greater Manchester and you'll get it. But loads of local parks will be doing the same thing.
Sure.
You know, and you do it locally, of course, as well. You know, I mean, travel by all means if you want to, but yeah, go and do it locally as well, because, you know, connect to that local space. It is yours, you
It
know,
is
and then
yours.
you're more likely to pass that on. And when you go on your walk with your mate, you'll be like, so you know, this is balsam. Like, we need to get rid of this.
This is
and
balsam.
then
yeah.
it
And
kind
these are
of
blackberries,
becomes
and we can eat those.
yeah, and it becomes rhizomatic, and everyone sort of knows what it is.
It's a great word. What was
that
word?
rhizomatic.
Rhizomatic.
Yeah, so rhizomes grow. They have like the root, like almost like the root that maybe you could eat, and then they would grow underground to another rhizome. This is a very
This is some science.
non-scientific explanation of a
Well, I'm
rhizome.
already lost.
And so it'll grow
Yeah.
a root, and then that root will create like a clump, another rhizome.
Okay, got it.
And
Yeah,
then it will
yeah,
go
yeah.
again, and then
Yeah.
you'll end up with like runners, I guess.
Yeah,
But the
totally.
whole like rhizomatic, as in like it's spreading, but like
yeah.
infiltrating.
What a brilliant analogy that was.
Yeah.
Did you come fully loaded with that one already?
Wholly prepared.
Really?
No, I just like the word rhizomatic.
It's time for conservation sins.
Conservation sins.
Oh, see, I hate this
I'm sorry.
because it's like you make me like reflect on all my bad things that I do.
Well, my conservation sin, for instance,
You're gonna be
this
like,
week,
oh, go on.
I forgot to charge the AA batteries last night, and so in our microphones there's disposable AA batteries. I'm really
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
I'm
I
really
mean,
sorry.
that's bad. I get it when I like, if I get a drink out and about and I've not got my little Stanley flask cup thing.
Yes.
And I have to get a coffee cup, I do feel a bit like,
Yeah.
and the other day I was driving back from, I was over in Salford, which is miles away from where I live, and I was driving back and it was really, really hot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so thirsty. But I was like, I can't stop and buy.
It's going to be a plastic bottle.
Yeah, but I couldn't do
at
it.
best.
I was like, no, I'm going to go home fully dehydrated.
I've done the same thing. If they haven't got a can of Diet Coke,
Like, what's wrong with me?
I go thirsty.
Like, I'm driving, like I need to, like, very dramatic.
But I've done the same thing. You can't. You hold yourself to this incredibly high standard.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I told you the other day, didn't I? I'm reading this. I think she's called Hannah Ritchie, Not the End of the World, and
Yeah.
she's kind of like blowing my mind a little bit, and I don't know how alright I am with it, but she talks about like not sweating, stuff like that. And I'm
It's
like,
a balance.
"Ugh," but because
Yeah.
my whole kind of ethos has always been around like, if we all do our bit and if we all care, like
Yeah.
surely that makes a difference. And like carbon literacy projects, that's what they're all about, is like if we all become carbon literate, if we all peer educate, like we all then take on this responsibility from an educated, knowledgeable point of view, and we can all make a difference, and we can all make lifestyle changes. And the whole point is that you pledge to do something different, both individually and collectively. And RHS is even doing this with the, their program around the National Garden. I probably said that wrong, but
I'll look it up.
Where if everyone has their garden and their green space within schools as well, and like looks after it from a biodiversity point of view, then we create this massive area nationally.
There's another book, and I can't remember the author's name, which is terrible, but she did a brilliant audiobook as well called One Garden Against the World.
Right.
And her point being that there's 30 million opportunities for biodiversity.
Yeah.
30 million gardens in England or the UK alone.
Yeah.
What a difference that could make if everyone planted some wildflowers.
Absolutely. And I don't think Hannah Ritchie's saying don't do all those things. She's but she's sort of saying like don't sweat buying that water bottle. Like don't sweat like things not to stress about.
Yeah.
She sort of advocates for like let's stress, and she does a whole chapter on what not to stress about and what to stress about, and I need to go over it again because she's blown my mind with some of it. I'm like, oh no, I really thought I should care about like my recycling, and I really thought I should care about single-use plastics and not buying loads of food that's wrapped in plastic and stuff. And she puts a good argument forward, which is why I want to listen to it again, because I'm not sort of sure where I sit with all that.
I'm going to check it out because it's a debate I'm right in the middle of in my own head as well.
Right.
Because it can be restrictive to your life, and it can be slightly damaging to my like daily well-being if I worry too much.
Of course.
About that plastic bottle.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm not going to go to the shop in the car, I'm going to cycle up there, but I've got a flat tyre, so I've got to sort that out, and then you're stressed,
But my biggest conservation sin is my car, and I'll hold my hands up with that. But I am making changes. I've just applied for I've not applied, I've read the Cycle to Work scheme, which in my head is like, it's happening. I'm going to get an electric bike and stop driving my 20-odd-year-old gift from my dad, gas guzzling, diesel, drinking Skoda, because I know it's a classic car now, and it has got leather interior, which is lovely in this weather. But I'm like that bothers me.
It bothers me too.
I sit there going, I'm not okay with this anymore.
There are some brilliant YouTube channels that I've watched, sort of detailing how how much the world is set up for cars.
Yeah.
And in Manchester, they're doing quite well. In the south where I am, they are building the cycle paths to encourage people.
I love the way they just stop though, and then you're like, okay, where do I go now?
Now I'm in the road. Yes, exactly. It's far from perfect, but it's so hard to live your life and be an engaged sort of person of the world without driving.
I know, but I think I get that I'm going to have to make some big changes. Like there's going to be no more, can you pick me up? It's going to be like, no. But maybe that's quite liberating, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that's like, do you know what, kids, sort yourself out. Sure. You're old enough, you're big enough, you got a bus pass.
How old are your kids?
15 and 17.
Bus, fine, isn't it?
And and Burnham gave him the free bus pass from 16 to 18 in Manchester.
Did he?
So yeah.
Good one, Andy.
Nice one. Get on that bus.
It's a generational change. Get on the bus.
Yeah. That thing, isn't there, around like, what if we're wrong about climate change? And it's like, wouldn't it be terrible if we all lived in in a place with loads of clean air and like lovely biodiverse habitats, and we had a great public transport infrastructure, and our houses were nice and warm and cool when needed to be. It's like, what a disaster. Like, I love
We improved the world, damn it.
Darn it.
Why? Why did we do that?
And we're all so much healthier.
Yeah. We live so long. We've got
I love
great friendships. Really good social network. I could go on forever. Yeah. This has been really nice.
It's been
Thank you too. I hope you've enjoyed it.
Yeah, I've loved it.
I'm not going to make you do any balsam bashing with me today.
Okay.
Partly because the rain started coming down.
Okay.
And partly because I want to include more of the interview. It was really good.
Okay. You can come down and do some balsam bashing with us though.
Yeah, for sure, I will do. I'll do a little bit on my way out, don't worry about that.
No, I mean with our group when we get together. Yeah.
Nah, you're all right.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
No worries.
I'll see you around.
Yeah.
Cheers. Well, I wish there were more Kellys in the world. What a lovely person and what a lovely chat that was. We talked about 2 books during that section. The first one was Not the End of the World by Hannah Ritchie, and the other one was One Garden Against the World by Kate Bradbury. There they are. They're both on Audible, so if you're like me and you haven't got time for real books, check them out on audiobook. Whenever I'm talking to someone, I always seem to recommend a YouTube channel as well. This week, I'm going to recommend Adam Something. Like Kelly and I were saying, cars dominate your daily life completely. He'll tell you why and how that happened, and a little bit more information about all the infrastructure of the world. It's brilliant as it is annoying, so check it out. And always, I've got to give you a Spotify playlist. Go to Spotify, look for SMTP. This one's called Ponder Garden. It's another nice, relaxing one where you can walk your dog or do your gardening, and it's exactly an hour long, so you can make plans around that. Anyway, that's it for this week. If you're still watching, you must kind of enjoy this, so please, why not go and tell a friend about it? Subscribe to the channel, give us a comment, do all of that good stuff, and we'll see you next week.